Hey guys, what's going on? Yes, I am in a much better mood after we beat Texas Tech. The reason I haven't done a review for that yet is because I actually haven't seen the game. I've tried to abstain from watching highlights and the big plays, just because they're going to replay the game tonight on FSN. I plan on watching it. I plan on getting a review out probably tomorrow. I'll try not to be too homerific, but it's just so great beating Texas Tech, especially after hearing look for Texas Tech to score 100, look for him to score 80. But I'll give Mike Leach some credit. Before I go to the Iowa State prediction and the breakdown of that, I want to give Mike Leach credit for tipping his hat to us and making the fat little girlfriend quote. I thought that was absolutely hysterical. I told my friend I love Mike Leach because of that quote, and he said, "You love Mike Leach? Fuck you." So I guess I have to not say I love Mike Leach. I love the quote. Anyways, this week we host Iowa State, and Iowa State has been playing some very good football. I think I made mention of it a couple weeks ago that I'm not sure that we would even beat Iowa State. It was probably after my Kansas State, oh my God, we're emo video, where K State absolutely destroyed us, and Iowa State's been playing good ball. Iowa State just beat Nebraska last week in Nebraska. That's pretty legit. And now they're going to come here to College Station. And yeah, we're amped up. Absolutely. We beat Texas Tech in Lubbock for the first time since 1993, part of the R.C. Slocum era. And now we have a real opportunity to solidify ourselves as a bowl team. If we can win this game against Iowa State, that makes the Colorado game a little bit more losable because we got the Baylor game coming up November 21st. The keys for Iowa State, definitely see if that offensive line performance, which I've heard is great. Again, I haven't seen the game. See if the offensive line performance was a fluke. Apparently, we were able to push Texas Tech around in the trenches. We gained 328 yards rushing. I don't have the exact number in front of me, so I'm just throwing out something I thought was in the ballpark. Gerard apparently had all day to throw in the pocket. So if I'm Iowa State, the first thing I do is come out and see if that offensive line has the same performance they did last week, or if they're going to perform along the lines of the Arkansas game or along the lines of the K-State game. See if this offensive line is really as good as they were last week. Number two, I think Austin Arnott is playing this weekend. It might be Jerome Tiller, but whoever is the quarterback for Iowa State, play the secondary hard. If you're Iowa State, throw the football a lot. Try to take advantage of the young secondary. I don't think Alexander Robinson is playing for Iowa State this weekend. Somebody can comment me on that, call me a dumbass, check me. That would be fantastic. But as far as I know, I think Alexander Robinson's out for another week. For the Aggie offense, number one, go to the running game early. I mean, even if the running game doesn't work right off the bat, try to go back to it. And I know I'm being a hypocrite from the K-State game, but I think it's a different scenario. We weren't running the ball well against K-State, but we kept doing it in the second and third and fourth quarter. Now, if you run the ball the first drive and mix it up with some short passes and it doesn't work, that's okay. Go back to it in the second and third drive. And if it doesn't work, then alleviate the pressure with short passes, then try to run the ball again. Anyway, so the first focal point for the A&M offense is run the football. And I think they can do it. Cyrus Gray and Christian Michael did an absolutely fantastic job, again, I heard, against Texas Tech. Number two for the Aggie offense, utilize Easy. Easy Wachaku has become the star of this offense. And a lot of people, a lot of Aggies fans, I hope there are more Aggies fans that comment, will comment on my video and say, oh, it's Gerard Johnson. Gerard Johnson's the star of this offense. Have you seen how many big plays Easy Wachaku has made on toss-up balls by Gerard Johnson? Easy is making it, and excuse me for the god-awful pun, look easy. He has Just absolutely played above and beyond what you expect a true freshman to, and he's playing above the level Jeff Fuller played at last year. And Fuller was a stud for us as a true freshman. And that's another thing. Number two, just because Easy's playing great doesn't mean you can't look at Jeff Fuller. Fuller will be playing next week, or this weekend, against Iowa State, so let him see a couple of vertical balls. See if you can't take advantage of an Iowa State team that does bend a bit. Might not break, but bends a bit. Try to take advantage of the big yards, then pound the football in close. Go for 7 or 3. Just take every advantage you can. For the Aggie defense, I think the best thing they can do is get pressure on Arnaud or Tiller. I think it's Arnaud, but I'm going to say both to cover my butt. Got to use Von Miller. Got to let him attack. Let Garrick Williams play the rover because he is the fastest linebacker we have. But let Von Miller, let the defensive line just come after Arnaud Tiller. I'm just going to slash it now. If you can bring that pressure and force Arnaud Tiller to throw the ball a little bit quicker than they want to, force the passes, one of two things will happen. One, the secondary will get lucky, step in front of a ball, get a turnover, or two, they'll get lucky, they'll complete a pass. I mean, there is the incompletion, but you know what I'm saying hypothetically. So for the defense, it's all about the pass rush and trying not to give Arnaud / Tiller a lot of time to find the receivers against a pretty vulnerable secondary. I'm willing to admit it. The key, I think I already talked about the key for the Iowa State offense. Take advantage of the questionable secondary. Iowa State defense, try to play to the offensive line, see if Texas Tech was a fluke or if the offensive line's really coming together. The Aggie offense, bring the pressure to Arnaud Tiller. And for the Aggie offense, run the football, go a little bit vertical with Fuller, and don't forget about Easy. I think this is going to be a very good game. I mean, if you looked at this game at the beginning of last year, you saw, I think Iowa State was 3-9 last year. We were 4-8. This looked like an absolutely horrible matchup. But, you know, now Iowa State's playing bend don't break football. They're 5-3. They are one win away from a bowl. And I know it's pretty late in the video, but absolutely hats off to Paul Rhodes. If this guy gets the team to a bowl, if they win 6 or 7 games, he is coach of the Big 12 in my opinion. Him or Bill Snyder, I gotta lean probably towards Paul Rhodes because really either Chizik is a god-awful coach or that cupboard was pretty bare. So I give a lot of credit to Paul Rhodes. He has done an absolutely fantastic job at Iowa State, and hats off to that program. It is headed up in a Big 12 North that's kind of muddled. Iowa State can make a name for itself if they play well against us. And this A&M team, yeah, we beat 3 slack-jaw opponents. I'm willing to admit it. But we outgained Arkansas. The defense looked shoddy, but we outgained Arkansas yardage-wise in a loss. We played punch for punch with Oklahoma State, a team that didn't have Des Bryant, but we did play them punch for punch, and I think that was a much better game than people thought. Kansas State was an absolute abomination, but then we played Texas Tech fantastically. Anyways, I really don't want to be a homer and say A&M will win big, because the last time I did that, we lost 62-14. Iowa State's going to come to play ball. I'm going to say A&M 31, Iowa State either 21 or 24. You can flip a coin on it. I think A&M wins by a possession, maybe 2. It'll be a fun football game to watch. Unfortunately, you won't be able to watch it because it's not on TV. Anyways, I'll make my final prediction 31-24. Thanks and gig 'em, guys. Farmers fight, and happy Halloween, and let's beat the hell out of Iowa State.